I don't know what's going on with it today. I don't know. I don't know. We haven't tried with our online radio since this surge came through the station. You ready?
Yes. And welcome to another exciting, informative, and thought-provoking issue of the Love Power Show, where we define the issues, defend the issues, take position. We provide leadership and solutions to problem analysis and examination as well. And as I understand, we have Chili Most on the line, but let me introduce the panelists. Omar Baruti with a wealth of experience and knowledge and expertise. Brother Talud El Amin with a wealth of experience, knowledge, and expertise. And let's go right in the interest of time to Brother Chili Most. First, let me introduce the topic. We're talking about the situation that went down in McKinney, Texas, with the guy Eric Case Bulk resigned. Come on, Chili.
And first of all, good afternoon to all the brothers on the panel and my Memphis Tennessee family. As you look at that film, there's a number of alarming things that you could hold accountable for. The policeman who came in, he handcuffed all the young brothers, he handcuffed the white brothers and sisters on the lawn.
Yeah.
Then he grabbed his young sister, the jury affected, 14, 15 years old. He tried to slam her head against the concrete.
Yes.
She resisted that. That would have might have broken her cheekbones and she probably would have had some type of operations on her face to correct that. But she fought that off, and then he slammed her head into the grass. And just like the brother in Baltimore who got his neck broken, he put his knee on her neck.
Yes.
On her back. That could have broke her neck, you see. And then he held there for a number of times, and she was just pleading to let her up. She just said, I wanted to call my mom. And so as you look at that one thing, you have other police officers who didn't hold this place in check. But what was they doing? We have to remember that the police work for the community. We don't work for them. And so it's a number of alarming things. I also want to just say this before I leave out, you guys can continue on. Don't take your eyes off of this Ezel Ford state in Los Angeles. Remember, the keep your eyes on the Ezel Ford state in Los Angeles. I understand it's in national news.
Okay.
Talk about who was, mentally challenged, was riding his bicycle, they body slammed him, put him on the stomach, and then fatally shot him. So keep your eyes on that. A lot of people protest on the West Coast. And one more thing before I leave out. Think about the Juneteenth celebration and what that meant to the world and to this country when brothers were supposedly freed by Abraham Lincoln in 1863 for 2 years to get the message to the brothers and sisters in Texas. So with that said, I know your brothers got a lot to say. I appreciate you letting me come on. This is Chili Most Coast to Coast Pete, because I love you, man.
All right. Tune in to the Love Power Show online, Chili Most from Coast to Coast, everybody. He said some important things, but before I go there, I want to read something. I want to read something from the African American Odyssey by Darlene Clark, Hine, William C. Hine, Stanley Harrell, 4th edition. It says right here in this paragraph, Brother Talud, it says that European captains and crews molested and raped black women during the Middle Passage. Masters and overseers similarly used their power to force themselves on female slaves. The results were evident in the large mixed race populations in the colonies and in the psychological damage it inflicted on African American women and their mates. In particular, the sexual abuse of black women by white men disrupted the emerging black families in North America. Black men usually could not protect their wives from it. Talud, I want to go to you first today.
Yes.
Did you see the video?
Yes, I saw part of it.
You saw part of it?
Complete. It was too brutal. I just didn't think didn't want to see it all. I saw a good portion of it.
Okay. What does that paragraph say to you? When you see let me add this to it. When you see us stand around and do nothing, when we're being attacked by white supremacists, killer cops. But there were 2 young men who approached the cop. And he pulled his gun, they ran away. And 2 other cops chased them, and the light-skinned young man got charged with something. A double question for you. Had they been white teenagers, would they have been chased down and been charged with something? Keeping in mind this paragraph, what we saw, what we continue to see?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, to answer the first question, no. Caucasian men are not going to brutalize Caucasian boys. It's just not going to happen. Okay? Especially when they're trying to, especially when those boys are trying to check them and have them to do right. They're not going to do it. Case in here, just a few days ago, there was a video out on Facebook where a Caucasian cop was abusing or misusing a Caucasian man, had him on the ground, had his knee on him, and a Caucasian guy ran up and tackled him. Right? And the police officer didn't do anything but get up. You know, the Caucasian guy did what he was supposed to do. He tackled the cop because the cop was brutalizing another Caucasian guy. The guy didn't get shot, he didn't get brutalized, he didn't get anything, he walked away. Okay. But when it comes to black Americans, see, we have to understand that being a minority means you are in position to be brutalized as a minority. And the only way the majority can show power of any kind is they have to implement brutal policy on the minority. To say, I'm against crime, I'm against violence. This is what I've done to those people over there whom have no power, no representation, nothing to defend themselves by. So the politicians implement all these policies to beat down the minority. And we are the minority as it applies to numbers in this country. We're less than 10% of the population of this country now. So when it comes to Latinos and black Americans, we are the minority, we get beat down. We get brutalized, we get killed. Okay, we die for quote unquote democracy. Okay, because the majority are the ones who's handling the democracy. You understand? They are the authorities of the democracy, not the minority.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to men implementing what they know is right, sacrificing their lives, that's what the minority. So you can't change the condition until you're willing to sacrifice your life for change. But we've been told you only sacrifice your life when you lock arms and march down the street for a purpose, as they say. Or, you know, civil rights and this kind of stuff. But we're supposed to sacrifice our lives every time these cops are out there doing something, brutalizing and killing us. If he shoot one, he shot us all. Can we get that in our minds? I mean, the Jews got it in their minds perfectly. You hurt one, you killed one, you've killed the Jews. And they're coming after you, they're relentless at it. If it takes them 40 years, 50 years, they're going to get you. They're going to try you in their tribunal, and they're going to execute you.
Okay. I think it has to be our job and responsibility, and here on this show we can set the agenda for the rest of the week. Do we have a call,
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes, sir.
A couple more comments and we'll go to the line. And not just that, our job is to make sure that African Americans understand that this is a process, what do you call it, Omar? Deprogramming your mind.
All right.
Let's go to the line. Caller, come on in.
Yeah, David, what's going on?
Hey, Doc Olsenbrook.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, glad to have you, man. Help us out here. What you have?
Oh, well, I was thinking about the Magna Carta.
All right.
The black man's Bible.
Go ahead.
That was his Bible for 30 years. he came out to be the president over the party. I think he had a Cornet's farm. There's got to be something to that Magna Carta. A lot of things started with what we know about jurisprudence. I think democracy is what the Magna Carta stands for. Really what it started, what it talked about, and also because everything that came up behind the Magna Carta was for things like civil rights and all that. There's offshoots of what the Magna Carta is talking about.
Okay.
And the main thing that Nelson Mandela said, this was his style for them 30 years. So I never was good for him to be great for it, so we got his 400 years. And very good, he know what the Magna Carta is. But it's a document that means something when it comes down right.
Okay, break it down for us, Doc.
All right.
Go ahead. Is he still there?
Break it down for us, Doc.
What about Magna Carta?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you may not have time, but get it started for us.
In the court of law, you got basic general rights, you got the right to be treated fair in a court of law without the fears in the air where you stay and all that. Y'all, that's your right. And if you're a violation of that can be overturned in court. You know, those people that there's all this margin and all that, that's good, but it ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it don't win nothing.
Doesn't win anything.
No, don't win anything.
Okay.
It was more than others.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, Martin Luther King, he was before Martin Luther, but he also was winning the jurisprudence.
Right.
He never about the Magna Carta. Yeah.
All right, Doc.
I'm just trying to throw this on that Bible called Magna Carta.
I understand. But before you go, Doc, you said something about marching as a part of the process.
It depends on who you march, what you marching for.
Right. I understand. You have to have correct strategy, effective strategy. I think that's what I hear you saying. Also, is it necessary that African American men, and I'm going to say and women, put two things on the line: our money and our lives?
Right.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
All right, thank you.
See you next. Hear from you next time.
Good night, man.
All right. Lonnie and Jeffrey, you all came in just a little while ago. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you hear me read this paragraph?
I actually did.
Okay. Let me do it again, because I think this is a significant point, and it leads to what we see African Americans standing around, marching and whining, as opposed to taking action. Here's what it says. European captains and crews molested and raped black women during the Middle Passage. Masters and overseers similarly used their power to force themselves on female slaves. The results were evident in large mixed-race populations in the colonies and in the psychological damage it inflicted upon African-American women and their mates. In particular, the sexual abuse of black women by white men disrupted the emerging black families in North America because black men usually could not protect their wives from it. What we saw in McKinney, Texas was a big old John Wayne type, Matt Dillon type, white guy rolling on the ground and coming up with his knee planted in a young African-American female, pretty female, with his knee planted in her back. When you think about that and hear this paragraph, Omar, I want to go to you and come this way. All right? Marinate while we come your way. Omar, what comes to mind? And compare what we do. The Jews went and dug some guy up out of the ground, didn't they? And then took his dead corpse to try. You make that point.
All right.
Talu.
That's right.
Omar.
You know, when slavery ended, it didn't end. And it hasn't ended today.
Say it again. When slavery ended?
When slavery ended, it did not end.
It did not.
And it has not ended today.
Okay.
Just like when childhood ends, it's not the end of you. You transition into another stage of life.
Right.
Slavery transitioned into another stage of life, and it's still here today. When I look at the number of black men incarcerated, And what you talking about in the slave ship? They did that on the plantation. And when I looked at that video of that pool party incident, and this young black man who approached the police officer, look, I have to tip my hat to him.
Yes.
I would, in fact, I would pay him.
Yes.
For what he did.
Yes.
Because you got to start, you got to start and stand up for what's right. They're attacking a young female who has done nothing to anybody. Mm-hmm. And they're brutally attacking her in such a way that you have to defend her. And everybody black should have been kicking that white man's butt. Mm-hmm. That's what they should have been doing. They should have all been going to jail, mm-hmm. not just one person. Mm-hmm. But these are children who don't know their history, they don't know their culture. Mm-hmm. But this black man knew that what you were doing to my sister ain't right. Mm-hmm. And it's something instinctually inside of him that said, I'm going to do what I need to do to protect my sister. Mm-hmm. And if you look at that whole scenario, white people were not being afflicted and were not being chased by the police. It was like they were invisible. Mm-hmm. The only ones he was looking for were black folk. Mm-hmm. And if you go back into the root of why this situation started in the first place, there was some white woman. A white woman that was agonizing the children at the pool party, who eventually got put on administrative leave from her job. And another white woman who worked for a company that was affiliated with Bank of America, who was also put on administrative leave from her job. Now, take that, one of them was fired, and the other one was put on leave. Mm-hmm. Because they're the one that precipitated the fight in the beginning.
Yes, and Case Ball resigned.
And Case
Ball resigned, both.
He should have been fired. He should have had an option to resign.
Mm-hmm. He should be found and tried to
yes, exactly.
by black. See, yes. Black folks need to have tribunals across the United States.
Yes.
Okay? And when these guys do these crazy things, try them. Mm-hmm. Just try them. Try them and say, we find you guilty. Mm-hmm. Your punishment is X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And leave it up to the community. Mm-hmm. We have to stop being punks across the United States of America.
Yes.
Just punks.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
come on.
When you look at
but let me put a question with your comment. Here's an article here that says that black women face the same brutality that black men face, plus sexual harassment by these white supremacists. Talk about that, the article, the paragraph, and your comment. Go ahead.
Because if you look back on it, nothing has changed, right? From the time our women was used as breeders until now, who could protect them? You know, they devised a plan to separate man and woman.
Now who's they now?
The masses, the European, not
okay,
whether
right.
they were Spaniards, or from British or whatever.
Spanish is European, too. That's right.
Yeah, we can use
Go ahead.
European, but you know, the point being is that was to me that image of seeing this white man with his knee to the back. If y'all see what I saw, you know, he had a head in the ground. You know, I seen it. You know, it was like a, you know, I can do this. You know, I thought we had freedom of speech, but you know, for us, for our people, you know, we had our rights taken away right in front of us, and did no one stand? I didn't see no one. The short clip that I seen, you know, I was so frustrated. I guess, you know, if it was a white girl, if we had reversed the roles, a black officer with a white girl on the ground using the same force,
would have gotten his butt show up?
It would have been like the 60s. You would have had a mob, a white mob somewhere tearing something up, you know.
You wouldn't have made out of that community.
Yeah. But I don't know if y'all heard, I saw, I read this article about, I guess, the Nation of Islam showing up in Texas. And, you know, I was just listening or just reading some of the comments that these white taunters were, you know, saying that, you know, look, man, we got these black superheroes as you got, you know. I was proud to me, that's a statement in itself, you know. And they were coming on and let you know, look, man, we're not going to tolerate this no longer. You know, if y'all allow the police who was supposed to protect and serve, and they can abuse an unarmed black daughter, somebody's daughter, and if they can do that and you know, there's no persecution on his behalf. I mean, we're gonna have to change something.